Okay, so this video is about inverse proportion. You've already seen direct proportion. This is inverse proportion. You've experienced inverse proportion before. This is a really good example here. Imagine you've got 24 lollies and you're sharing them among 4 children. Now, 24 divided by 4, that's 6. Each child would get 6 sweets. Now, if there were only 3 children, though, there were 24 sweets, and there were 3 children, they'd get 8 sweets. They'd get more sweets because there's less children. If there was only 1 child, if it was just you, you'd get to eat all 24 of the lollies. If there was 24 children, you'd only get 1 lolly. Everyone would get 1 lolly each. It's pretty straightforward, I think. Now, if you draw a graph of it, it looks like this graph down here. This is how many children there are. Oops, can't spell. Children. This is how many lollies there are, or sweets, whatever you want to call them. Now, here's 1. So if there's one child, there's one child, they get 24 sweets. If there's 2 children, there's 2, they get 12 sweets each. Let's jump to 4. If there's 4 children, they get 6 sweets each, that's 6. If there's like 12 children, they only get 2 sweets each. What you get is this really curved graph. And we call that, it's got a really cool name, hyperbola. Okay, so it curves, it nearly touches that line, but never quite touches the y-axis. And it curves here, and it nearly touches the x-axis, but never quite touches the x-axis. So that's what inverse proportion is. Now, if we want to write inverse proportion, we write it like this. C, so you've learnt that is indirect proportion too. But when we do 1 over, that's C is inversely proportional to N, or X is inversely proportional to Y, or M is inversely proportional to Q. It doesn't really matter what letters we use, but that's what we tend to use straight away. So that's our inverse proportion. We can also say that C is equal to K over N. C is equal to K over N. And K, again, you've already learnt this, K is our constant of proportionality. Okay, so what do you need to know? You need to know what an inverse proportion is. The lollies idea is a really good example. You need to know that when you graph it, you get this cool thing called a hyperbola. You need to know how to say this. And I'm not going to write this down, but you're going to write this down. C is inversely proportional to N. C is inversely proportional to N. And you need to know that this can be written as C equals K over N, where K is the constant of proportionality. That's enough for this one. See you in the next video.